So today is the day where we'll finally be pushing on towards Heartfelt City. I've got a few things that I need to tie up first though, namely the haul of Pokemon that I've got to show off here. I don't really have much of a reason to show these first four off though. These did make an appearance in the previous segment, though I didn't actually draw any attention to them besides a annotation that I put in post-production. This is the rest of the stuff that I got from Wayward Cave. Everything else here I picked up on Route 208. All this stuff here is encountered just in the regular grass. This here you can get with the old rod or the good rod at a 10% encounter rate. There's a little body of water that you can get down to and fish from there. And then we have Dunsparce, the radar exclusive one here. I was actually planning on catching this towards the end of this segment, just because I wanted to get to Heartfelt City and check to see if they had super repels. They do not. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that I need the third badge in order to buy super repels. And because of how much shit I was doing in the segment anyway, like in a previous attempt at the segment, I'm probably not going to be doing the gym in this segment, so yeah. Moving on though, I've grinded everybody on my team up to level 30. I'm going to be showing off movesets here and items. For Dick Kickham, gave him the King's Rock because everything on this moveset has it will benefit from King's Rock. Not that I'm really going to be using Rapid Spin on that much unless I'm dealing with entry hazards. I'm actually considering trying to put Bulk up on this thing, but I'm not too sure what I want to get rid of. Rapid Spin is probably the one to go, although just the idea of entry hazards is probably going to be a more common occurrence because of the improved movesets and teams and stuff like that in this hack. So it might not actually find itself that much out of place in this playthrough, so I'll work that out at some point. It just happens to have high jump kick now. It is quite the upgrade from when you saw it previously. It had only double kick on it. It tried learning rolling kick, I think in the previous segment in one of the sped up sections, opted against it. It then, during the grinding process, got Brick Break at 25, which was replaced with Jump Kick at 27, and then this replaced it at 29. So this is probably going to be sitting around on its moveset for the rest of the playthrough, even though it is slightly inaccurate. It is just the most powerful fighting type move that it has access to. The alternative, I think, is like Close Combat, which reduces defenses. I'm not too keen on that, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. $3 just replaced the leftovers it was holding with Light Clay to make Light Screen last better. Want to try to put Reflect on this moveset as well. I'm not too sure what I want to get rid of for that. Illisen holding a Miracle Seed as it did before it got dropped. Night Slash and Seed Bomb coming in to replace Bite and Razor Leaf respectively. Title's the same as he's always been. Spearmint got Seed Bomb over Bullet Seed, still holding the Never Melt Ice. And then from there we have the 6 team members that we're going to be going with for this segment at least. Mitt Roast, I replaced Double Team with Will-O-Wisp. Gave it a spell tag so that Ominous Wind was a bit more powerful. I figured that might be helpful for Fantina when we get to her. Shockwave won't be on the set for too much longer. It gets Discharge at the next level, so that'll be pretty cool to have. Ghost Trick, I gave her Wise Glasses. The only move that's unaffected by that is Shadow Sneak because it's a physical move. Bertha hit level 30 during the Dawn fight in the previous segment, so she hasn't gotten any grinding at all and thus remains the same. Rampart used to hold the Muscle Band. I gave him a Quick Claw instead, just on the odd occasion that I can get in the first move there and do some damage. Muscle Band is now on the Zangoose that I have settled with here. During the grinding it got Sword Stance at 25, I think 27 or 28 it tried getting Knockoff, decided not to go with it. I thought Night Slash was just the better option there, and ended up settling with a Jolly Nature, which is really nice. I'd rather have the speed for it since I have Sword Stance to boost its attack anyway. And then lastly Pompoda, which is dead because it sacrificed itself for me to catch the Dunsparce. So it's not going to be doing much anyway though, so I'm not going to worry too much about healing it. I've got a couple of things I need to do in Eterna City before we go on to Heartfelt. I want to talk to this lovely lady here. She has a wish, and I'm going to grant her that wish. And her Clefairy now learns Dazzling Gleam. And so, since we granted that wish, something has witnessed it, and it is very much relevant to wish granting. If you don't know whose cry that is, that cry belongs to Jirachi, so we've just accomplished the first step towards getting that thing in much the same way we did with the Mew side quest a few segments ago. And then for some reason these two trainers are keen for a fight. Thoroughly check out my abilities as a trainer. Spoiler alert, they don't. Provided I don't miss, I am one-shotting both of these first turn. We overheat here, and then we Shadow Ball to here. Rip. And of course I miss. That's mean. The last few attempts I've done at this segment, I did not miss at all. And, of course, couldn't keep that streak going. So, last thing I need to do before moving on is I've got to give Zangoose a nickname. This nickname is kind of a mix between the name of something that it is related to, as well as just a regular person's name, which is... I can't click on that, can I? Duh. I feel like I'm kind of losing my mind. I'll explain that at some point when I'm just bowling around in Amity Square, I guess. But to the matter at hand, the name I'm going to be going with for this Zangoose is Suricate. Suricate with the C instead of a K is actually another name for a meerkat, which is, I think is like related or is actually a type of mongoose. And so there's still like a relation there being, you know, Zangoose is like supposed to be like a mongoose type thing. And so I've decided to put the K in there to make it sound a bit more like just the combination of a type of animal that is related to a mongoose, as well as an actual like name that you would, a common name. So yeah, we're going with Suricate. Also, this is the part where I've mentioned at least twice before that Gen 1 allows you to just go through the gate, and then when you exit out onto Cycling Road, you're just immediately on your bicycle. And Diamond and Pearl and Platinum just don't have that ability. You have to jump on your bike before entering Cycling Road, or else you are screwed. Which sucks. Anyhow, put up a rappel. I wish this lasted me the duration of the... from here towards the gate, but it does not. It pulls up a bit short. Oh, no, it doesn't. I guess I was bumbling around a bit too much previously. So, let's hope that this goes down pretty well, because we've got another fight that we have to deal with. Now, I don't have to worry about a dead Pompoda or a half-dead Mid Roast. That's not a issue that we have to deal with. Because this bloke shows up, and we're going to be in for a bit of a romp here. This guy may hit you for 6 if you are unprepared. And he's about as qualified as any to hit you for 6 in that situation, because he's Aaron of the Elite Four. And he offers to give you a battle. You can choose not to, but I don't really care. I'm not too sure what happens if you say no, but I'm going to go ahead with yes anyway, because he is perfectly beatable here. He's a little bit above my... he's a little bit above me in terms of levels, but he's not at all that difficult to knock over. So, Dustox lead. The way that we get rid of this is to launch an overheat. So overheat hits, and we just have to hope it doesn't do min damage. And it does not. One of my previous attempts, this thing did min damage. I did not know that min damage resulted in Dustox surviving, and so I reloaded the save state and I did like a take 2 on the spot. It worked out fine from there on. The previous attempt though was literally thrown out because this Venomoth kind of fucked me over. It is not difficult for this Venomoth to fuck you over, because some of his Pokemon are actually faster than anything on my team. Sadly, this is a situation where I am definitely outsped. An Aerial Ace will one-shot this thing, but it has Sleep Powder, and if it hits with Sleep Powder, it can 3-hit KO me with Sludge Bomb. So I have to hope that if I do fall asleep, that I wake up quick and knock this thing out with Aerial Ace. or that Sleep Powder just misses entirely. Sleep Powder does not miss entirely. So that's our one obligatory turn of being asleep. That's 2. And... okay. Aerial Ace. And... awesome. Venomoth has been handed its ass on a platter. That could have been a lot worse. Moving on, we have to deal with a Beautifly now. I believe I would just let the Beautifly knock Bertha out here. I'm not too sure if this thing has a priority move though. If it does, I'm going to be up the creek. But the plan here is to hit this thing with an Aerial Ace. It is holding a Focus Sash, so it is not going to knock this thing out. But the idea is that I get this thing down to 1 HP. Let it use up his Focus Sash. And then the Air Slash takes out Bertha, giving me the free switch in to go into Rampart and hit this thing with a Rock Tomb. And he's going to be spending this turn healing the Beautifly, which is why I'm able to come in with not really too many issues and just smash this thing with a Rock Tomb. I didn't want to switch Rampart in on any other situation because I'm totally expecting this thing to have probably Giga Drain, which will very easily one-shot Rampart, and so this is a situation where Rampart can come in, clean up, and just nothing else to really worry about. Scizor, this thing is begging for me to bust our Mitt Roast back out and deliver a Becky Lynch level Heat Roast and overheat and roast this thing into oblivion. What did I call it? Heat Roast? Is that actually what I called it? I gotta play that back. I don't know what the hell I thought Overheat was called, but it sounded like an incredibly stupid but also glorious name. So yeah, there's Discharge. We'll get rid of Shockwave for that. And then lastly is Drapion. This is going to be a bit problematic. Drapion outspeeds literally everything on the team. I could Discharge. It's got a decent shot at paralyzing, but I don't really like relying on that too much. I would rather go with the Will-O-Wisp. The Will-O-Wisp ensures that it's probably not going to be knocking anything out, even though it is going to go +4 here with its Swords Dances, because it's going to Swords Dance up once, and then it's going to Swords Dance up again. Oh no, it's going to go with this Cross Poison. That's actually good. No, it is not. No, that's not good at all. It was not meant to do that. I'm willing to bet that the CPU just knew that if it used Cross Poison, it was guaranteed a crit, and so used it there. There is no way in hell that it would have used it otherwise. I'm calling bullshit there. But whatever. Provided I can take a Night Slash, shouldn't be too difficult. A Drill Run will do a lot of damage to this thing. Its only weakness is ground, so I had to rely on it. Awesome. Increased crit rate comes to help me out there, and that takes care of Aaron. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that I'm going to be coming across the other 3 Elite Four members throughout my journeys through this region. And I hope they all come with different TMs for me, because this fella gives you X-Scissor. The only Pokemon that I know can learn that is Suricate. Not too sure if I want to teach that to her right now. It's not going to be very useful against Fantina, at least, so I'm not gonna fuss too much over that. So yeah, we got to go to the contest hall. It's it's obligatory because Fantina's there, and if Fantina's there, that means I can't go and challenge the gym, which is not something I'm going to be doing in this segment, but it'll be something relevant. So anyhow, Poffin House. I am going to show this off, but I have to explain something. I actually lost a 35-minute attempt at this segment, due in part to the Poffin House. I had to sort of, basically to explain what I did, I had to, I'll wait till I get to the Poffins, because I'm going to do this immediately just to show this off and while it's on my mind and I don't have to bloody forget again. So, you talk to this dude, he's the chairman of the Pokemon fan club, yada yada yada, he gives you the Poffin case. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Ignoring you, I don't like reporters. Okay, so we want to go in here. We want to talk to this person. And we are going to go ahead and throw in a berry. We'll throw in a Peach berry, I guess. Something that's not quite as valuable. And so we switch to bottom prio here so that the bottom screen takes up the majority of the screen. And so what happens here is you just do this. Unfortunately, the mouse doesn't really like to play ball here. And as a result, I am constantly burning the shit out of this Poffin. It apparently gets even worse the more solid it gets. But assuming that this was working out normally, the idea is in the early stages of this, it's in a liquid form, and you don't want to stir it too fast or else it'll overflow and just fall out of the pot. Once it starts to solidify like this, you want to stir it as fast as you possibly can to avoid it burning like it is here. So that's basically what it's supposed to... That's basically what Poffin making entails, and it's basically like Pokeblocks in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. They're basically intended to increase a Pokemon's contest stats. So, yeah. We made a foul Poffin. Congratulations. No, I'm not overly keen on that. So yeah, I forgot to switch back to the top prio setting once I was done here, and ended up with the last third of the segment with a setup like this. That ruined the segment for me, and so I had to throw it out. It was 35 minutes. I was pissed off. And then RNG screwed me over in the Aaron fight, and I ended up having to throw another attempt at that segment out. So, yeah, it's terrible. Anyhow, here's the church. And I believe just about everybody here has some kind of thing to say in relation to the so-called original one. I don't think I need to really hide this too much. It has the move Judgment. Yeah, you already know we're talking about Arceus. Well, Judgment is basically the special equivalent of Earthquake, so anything that can tank an Earthquake could probably tank Judgment, depending on what type it is. You and your fucking tinfoil hat, did you like paint it so that it was the same color as your skin and you're just secretly wearing it? Because you're an idiot. So yeah, you can do the Type Master quest to get a set of plates, or you can just grab a set of plates from the underground. I'm still going to be doing the Type Master quest just to show it off. You get the Rest TM in here as well. You'll also notice there's no background music here. So if you're wanting to record like clean Pokemon cries, this is the place to do it. It's really good. Yep. I'm not too sure why they couldn't have just taken the question mark type Arceus, make it like accessible by holding a new plate, implement the new plate, and then just like do it that way. Unless for some reason there's just like a hard coding that prevents multi-type from working with any more types than the ones it already has. I'm not too sure. It's kind of dumb. So, whatever. There we have a Clune. He's just kind of chilling out there, being all Clune-like. Let me go ahead and kick this thing's ass. This dude's ass. Something ass. I'm all out of ass. I had to make some kind of a Dick Kickham reference there, even though Dick Kickham is not here at the moment. So, Apom. Bit of a unfortunate thing here with the Jolly Nature boosting speed. Revenge, I think, actually has decreased priority. So, this Apom will just be able to move first. But Revenge does do a decent amount of damage, especially if it's if Suricate's taken damage just before. Hopefully Revenge will take the knockout here. It does not. It just tanks. Alright, bugger off. And Kadabra, yeah, I'll just feed you the Ghost Trick. This is boring old shit, so I have no reason to care. Yep. That's pretty good. And from there, I don't think I have any more battles to do, so next thing I want to show off is, well, it's probably not going to be the next thing I show off, but I'm going to put this Jigglypuff in my party just to prepare. Because the next thing I want to do is I want to go in here and talk to this lady. This is Bebe. She is the resident person who runs the Pokemon PC boxes. She's the proprietor of the PC storage system in this region. That's what I was trying to say. And instead of having an EV for you, she gives you an upgrade, which I guess works. It gets you a Porygon 2 at this point in the game, which is nice, I suppose. From there, might as well trigger this, just because we can. Shiny Stone. So now you can use a Togekiss or a Roserade if you want. Also for something in the fashion case, I don't know, whatever. And we're not quite done yet, because Mum's got something for us as well, which is really stupid. You're supposed to get like a contest pass in order to be able to participate in the contests, but they've completely done away with that. They've actually replaced the contest pass with, I think the slot that it used to occupy is in this hack occupied by the Ice Stone. At least I think that's what it is implied from the paste bin. So over here we have this lady whose hair looks like a freaking fan. And she twirls around like a fan. And of course she's just the gym leader. So that's the reason you had to come in here, because you needed to trigger that so you can go and challenge her, which I'm not going to be doing in this segment. Instead, I'm going to do 2 more things in this segment before I wrap things up. First thing I want to do is show off the roadblocks. One of them is obnoxious. It is this one here. Yay! Have you heard the good news about our Lord and Savior, Eggy Bagfuck? That's basically what they're saying. Okay. I thought he gave you an egg. He might still give you an egg, probably after you get the 3rd badge, but whatever. If we head down here, obnoxious cow getting in the way. This guy explains it all though. Closes the gate down because of some stupid TV shoot. It's still dumb, but at least there's like some kind of justification attempt made there. I wouldn't call it like strictly obnoxious. So that Pokemon can get wrecked because it doesn't have super repels yet. So we're gonna go ahead and bowl on in here. This right here is Amity Square, and you cannot enter it unless you have one of a certain species of Pokemon in your party, Jigglypuff being one of them. For some stupid reason, Igglybuff is not on that list, so you can go exploring with Jigglypuff, but not Igglybuff. Same thing with Clefairy and Pichu. You can't go in with any of either of those, but you can go in with Pikachu and Clefairy. You can also come in here with any of the Sinnoh starters, not Torchic, as the like little entrance board thing would suggest. And here you can just sort of wallow around the place and pick up some items. And if you interact with your Pokemon every now and then, they'll just randomly pick up a ball of fluff from the ground and give it to you for you to put into your fashion case. Which is pretty bare bones, but I guess it's better than nothing. I don't know. So for some reason, these two little houses, whatever the hell you want to call them, only take you back and forward, which is kind of shitty. The rest of the area is actually just completely off limits. I'm not too sure if there's a way you can actually get up there, because I think regardless of which direction you go from in this house, it just takes you back here. So what we get to do, yeah, Drifloon's one of the things you can take with you as well. For some stupid reason, I guess it's kind of adorable enough. It's like a little balloon thing. There's like an elevated section of this that I think you have to go in through the other entrance to do. But besides the random items that you can pick up, I grabbed an Attract TM as well as Secret Power TM, which I guess were both pretty nice. If you want to use Attract, that might be useful. But besides that, Amity Square really only serves as like a demo ground for the following Pokemon mechanic that would eventually be implemented in full in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That's basically all it is. So on this side, we've got a number of these little houses that we can go in and out of. Oh, what's this? Amulet Coin. Forgot about that thing. Amulet Coin's going to be very useful for me to get some extra cash. Is there like a hidden item here somewhere? I would grab the dowsing machine out, but I'm too lazy. You'd think that there would be, but I guess not. Yeah, you're not doing a whole lot else. You're certainly not helping me find items. Which there's a couple of other directions I need to go here as well. Definitely not this way. I think I want to keep going in this direction and I'll eventually come out. Yeah, this is the place I want to come out. Wait, what? I thought there was a dude here. Is there not? Was he somewhere else? There was a dude here that like offered you some Whatmel berries. And I figured I would just take those, but apparently he's just not there anymore. Oh well. Metronome's there though, it's okay. It's not the move, of course. Oh, hang on. Is this the dude? Oh. Thick mushroom. Oh, okay, it's just a freaking fashion case thing. Okay, that sucks. I guess that... Yeah, I guess his like location is set in stone when you enter Amity Square for the first time in a new day or something like that. I guess that's what it... I guess that's how that works. It's kind of dumb though. Kind of one of those berries. Whatever. I'm not gonna blow up too much about it. Wait a sec. Is that gonna take us back and forward? Can we maybe not do that? Can we just maybe leave? I'm kind of done with this place. I'm kind of done with talking. Oh, for God's sake, really? Let me out. I don't want to be here. Liz. Please. Let me out. God damn it. Thank you. Get me the hell out of here. Go. Go. I'm so done with this. At least I managed to get this segment under 30 minutes. That's at least something I can be proud of. There might be one or two other things for me to point out here. Mr. Goods being one of them. I think it has something to do with like stuff that you can use as decorations for the underground, but besides that I think he's pretty useless. It's not very useful in this playthrough at least, so... Okay. I think I have torn my throat apart enough. I think I've been talking for like nearly an hour and a half in total across the scrapped segments, so that'll do it. Next time we're going to be going and busting out that gym and then probably moving on. Hopefully I'll get to Solaceon Town before the end of the next segment. We can certainly hope so.